to the LEC, everyone, and this is the post-game lobby. I'm Sjokz, and I'm joined by Vedius and remotely also by Kobbe. Hi, Kobbe. Is everything working?
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we can hear you. That's great. We really wanted to talk to you, and it is a bit unlucky how that game ended up in the end. It was so incredibly close for you guys. Have you had a bit of time to reflect on what kind of dropped the ball for Misfits at the end?
No, I mean, the rest are sitting in team review now, and I'm going to join them after, right? But yeah, I think we played really solid for the majority of the game, and then we just kind of dropped the ball at some point. So yeah, it feels a bit bitter, but I mean, that's life sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, thank you so much for joining us. I know it's not easy after that, and you're going to join the team after. But I do want to talk to you a bit about the big return to EU. We're definitely super excited to have you back. We missed you when you were over in North America. And I want to know how your kind of first weeks back have been, training with the team and just, finding your way back here in Europe.
So honestly, I felt blessed as soon as I came back to Berlin, which is like, it was really special because I was stuck in NA with the quarantine and stuff for about a month, being teamless and all of this. And honestly, I was in a really dark place, and now I've just been so happy since I got back. I've been grinding solo queue. I realized I'm actually not that good at the game right now. So I've been working really hard past few weeks to get my level back. And yeah, I've been pretty happy since.
Yeah, it's been awesome to see. When we look at your career so far, it's been super successful, but it almost feels like you're coming home now and you can kind of finish what you started when it comes to kind of trying to get that title in EU. Can you talk to me about your goals for this split specifically with Misfits?
Well, yeah, winning a title is always my goal, of course. It's not like whether realistic or percent chance. Sometimes it's more likely, less likely. I'm always going to aim for that, right? But I think together as a team, we set our goal to finish top 4 and aim for Worlds, which is like pretty standard for most teams that want to compete, right? And it's something we really want to do, like as an organization, and also a lot of the other players that haven't been to Worlds yet. So that is what I'm trying to work towards, yeah.
I mean, especially now that there's 4 seeds out of EU going to Worlds, of course the chances get a lot higher. Can you talk to me a bit about kind of the Misfits family? I was commenting on the fact that it kind of looks right for you to be in that jersey, and for so long we saw you in the Splice jersey, which you had a great era, and then you had the TSM era. But how has it been working with the Misfits family so far?
Yeah, as I said, I've been enjoying my time. I haven't had any big issues now. I'm actually having a lot of fun with the players. It's honestly just a new, fresh experience again, and I'm really enjoying it. So there's not too many negatives yet. We just need to improve our game, and then, yeah, I think it'll just be better.
Yeah, maybe I'll pass it to Vedius, but it's maybe hard for Kobbe to take the perspective as he just was in the game, but that much of a competitive game versus a Fnatic, which has always been very strong, has been very strong this year as well, is hopeful, but maybe not when you're in the game.
So I think, from my perspective, I have to compare previous Misfits to this one, right? And something we said at the beginning of the match was one of the problems we had for Misfits last split was that they couldn't play through bot lane. This game, they first pick Kalista, they have a strong 2v2, they don't need jungle presence because they kill them 2v2, and then they move their pressure around the map extremely well. And Kobbe, I have to say, the first Baron that you guys played, I thought was a little risky, but the way in which you executed it, for a team that has only recently come together, I thought showcased excellent synergy. It was the second Baron where I think things started to go wrong for you. So I feel like already the team seems to be operating at a very cohesive level. People are playing individually very well. And I'm curious as to if you feel a difference in synergy on Misfits compared to your previous teams in TSM and Splice.
So I think synergy seems pretty good besides like most players, Fabi and Razorg especially, and I'm already getting along with Dust pretty well because we've just been spamming duo queue since I got back. And yeah, for me it's like I kind of have to adjust to this as well because I was in Splice for a long time, right, which was known for playing a lot of late games, right, whether intended or not, and early game was never our strength. And this team is like known for having really strong early games and tend to struggle later on, at least from what I've seen and heard from Spring Split, right? So this is also a big change for me. Like I'm picking Kalista. We're playing early game. We're snowballing, and that's also I feel a bit guilty of this loss, even though we did so many things right. As you said, the first Baron, we just felt really confident, right? And then we just kind of YOLO'd the second one because we just thought we're just going to do the same thing, right? But looking back at it, there was some setup stuff we didn't go through first, and that's why it ended up looking not so good.
But I think for your first game, I would be very happy. Obviously, it's frustrating not to take a game off Fnatic at the beginning of the split, but the fact that you played that well, you have another 2 days of games now. I can't help but feel confident that Misfits is already looking like... I tweeted it out, and obviously, like, I feel like a bit of a cast of curse, but from what we've seen from Misfits already, it's like night and day from last Misfits. So I can only give props to Kobbe because he seems to have had huge impacts on this team, and I'm excited to see where Misfits can go.
Yeah, me too, absolutely. Before we continue, $1 million question. How have you been enjoying the EU solo queue experience?
I've actually been enjoying just... I've never played as much as I'm doing at the moment, or maybe I have at some point, but I'm just playing the whole day right now because, as I said, I didn't really play the game for a month while I was in NA. Like I was in a really dark place, and I kind of found my joy in playing again and improving, and I can start seeing, like I was hardstuck Grandmaster for 1 or 2 weeks here, which just was so frustrating to me that wait, did I actually get worse at the game or what? But I feel like I can start to see the signs now that I'm finding my level again. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep working on that.
Okay, fantastic. Great to hear. It sucks. We have to do it. The key player of the game was Reckless with 61% of the votes, and that is so. Like, I know because it probably would have been you if it went the other way.
Yes, it definitely would have been.
But what can you say about this guy? He's also has trajectory. He's been around for so long, and he's still crushing it.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much bad to say. Like, by the way the draft was, he kind of did what he was supposed to without making mistakes. So he just makes the game harder for us, right? By not making mistakes. If he just falls over in lane and dies in a negative matchup, then, I mean, he supported it, but not him. And yeah, he just picked up a lot of farm, eventually carried, which was both due to him playing well and us messing up. So, yeah.
And I'm curious as to what you think of the AD carry talent pool in Europe right now, because it was a little different back when you were playing with Splice. So a lot of us are currently discussing that this is probably the most stacked AD carry has been in Europe for a while. What are your thoughts?
I mean, probably. I haven't played against the newer players though. Karsi, for example, Comp. I think I'm forgetting a name, but those guys I haven't played that much against yet, but they're still, you know, Perks, Reckless, Upset, these guys who I think have been good for a while now. So yeah, it is indeed pretty stacked, and that's why I'm very eager to just get even better, because I don't want to... It's like a race, you know? I don't want to fall behind.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. In summer, it is a race. It's all going to go very, very fast. We're going to take a look at the standings now. Some surprise results overall. The 2 last place teams from spring, in fact, SK and Vitality, they both picked up wins, Vedius, which is great. Which is fantastic. And, I mean, it's not too shabby. SK won versus Origin to start.
I mean, that's the biggest surprise.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure, Kobbe, did you get a chance to watch the SK versus Origin matchup, or were you practicing?
Actually, yeah, I catched that game.
So, what are your thoughts on it?
They surprised me, SK.
Yeah.
Well, I need to rethink again. I think they surprised me. They actually played a lot of things really well. I think their draft was a bit better than Origins too. So yeah, just my initial thoughts.
Yeah, because I think SK seemed to come in with a very strong early game plan, and the way in which they executed upon their comp, not only that, they got a lot of comfort picks too. Zazie on his very first game, getting the Azir, having a solid performance. I think that we can hope for some pretty positive things from SK moving forward, and I'm looking forward to seeing their development throughout the split.
Yeah, we'll see indeed. It's a great start for those teams. I don't want to linger on them just too long. It is just day 1, and I've said it is a super week, so 3 days of games. So we'll have a lot of foregone conclusions and 1 game sample size conclusions after today as well. But we'll be back tomorrow for more action building up towards our match of the week, Origin versus G2. Can I get a cheeky prediction for Origin versus G2, Kobbe? I mean, it's maybe.
It's a G2 win.
Yeah, when I like asked you, I was like, okay, that's not going to be too difficult. Vedius, is there another standout game you have for tomorrow?
Well, I'm looking forward to Misfits versus Rogue.
Oh, me too.
Because I think that Rogue, I think they showcased, again, what they are very good at. I think they draft very solidly. You know, there's nothing too outside the box. It was pretty cut and dry, but the execution was very good. And I think we're going to see a very interesting contrast of styles tomorrow, because Misfits, as Kobbe was saying, they're a lot more fast, they're a lot more aggressive in the early game, a lot of that coming off the back of Razork, versus Rogue, who are a little bit more controlled, a little bit more steady. And it's always exciting to see Featherman versus Larson, who I think were two of the strongest performing mid laners from last split. So I think it will be an overall very solid matchup.
All right, Kobbe, what are your thoughts on the Rogue matchup tomorrow?
Well, I think we're gonna win. I mean, it sucks today that I mean, it's not a shame losing to Fnatic, but knowing we had the game, it just feels better, right? But I think that will make us even more hungry to go out tomorrow and play really well, because we need some wins, yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
I love it. I just love that attitude. You know, you could have beat them, but, you know, just beat the next teams, and then it's all good as well. Thank you so much for joining us, Kobbe. It was super insightful. We're so happy to have you back. It's great. And that was all from us here in the LEC. And after us, or actually already, it is time for LCS Academy, followed by the opening games of the LCS Summer Split. And we will be back here tomorrow, right here from the LEC studio. See you then. Bye, Kobbe.
Bye-bye.
And a lot of that for me was because sometimes G2 just, well, they mess around a little bit on day one, as we see here. Cat's gonna get kicked back. That is far too clean from Shadow and Humanoid. Absolutely fearless here, but maybe should be giving a bit more respect, because that damage coming in from G2 is far too much to deal with.
That Lion still has the potential for the miracle. Maybe
oh, he cleansed off and went out there on the QSS.
I was trying.
Ulti coming out, but he's going to get pulled back, and they're going to shred him down. That's the front line gone. That's the tank gone. Com's still alive, and this should just be an absolute massacre. Yuumi Ezreal going to run through the entire team. Melitza as well.
And SK are like, that's fine, you can stand there. Let's go!
Flat forward facebreaker, pull the Orianna back. Goodbye, Nuke Duck. Zazi now trying to shut down the MF, but he's going to zoom away. Limit, how much more heroic can this performance get? The hook connects. Limit finishes him off.
Got that pick. You can see sort of the immediacy of their engage. Hansama?
This is bold. This is real bold. Hansama sidesteps the Mystic shots. Oh, that was fantastic. Larson's going to jump into the back line. Finn's going to find the double knockup. Cajal is already popped and bopped. And Special gets melted inside the jungle. They're taking a lot of damage.
Look at the
big
flank.
trouble bubble gets missed. Goldcorn is primed. Gets thrown out. The slam dunk unstoppable. Kobbe gets the kill to Nemesis, but then put him on the front line. He manages to throw out the rupture as well as the silence. Dan is waiting in the river. That's the smite outside of the fight. 2,500. No! Fnatic have got the what? Razork is the next target for Reckless. He's hammering away. That's the kickback. Kobbe will be caught out by Selfmade, but a fantastic flash escape keeps Kobbe alive. It does not matter. Fnatic have found the fight.